The first time I saw the Vader suit, I was really intimidated.
Vader is one of the most iconic movie villains in film history.
Personally, the greatest villain in sci-fi.
Working with a existing character that is beloved by a lot of people.
I will say that it's a pretty terrifying feeling.
I recognize it as a really large responsibility with keeping true to the character while also, having to portray Vader in a way that hasn't really been shown.
So this is an early point in Darth Vader's career as a Sith Lord, so he's still trying to cast off who he was before.
He's relatively new to the Vader thing. He's been, Anakin for all that, so how is he feeling as this progresses?
Doing a lot of research was needed for this character. There's a lot of pre-existing motions and things that can happen to Vader. Basically through doing that I was able to understand okay, how does Vader react in certain situations that fans are accustomed to.
There's already an established vibe for what Darth Vader is. He's kind of scary.
Vader, very intense, specifically in the way that he interacts with the world, the way that he moves throughout the world, in that sort of different perspective.
Officer Keitel, he seems to see himself as more of a protege towards Vader.
Throw in some curveballs that causes Vader to expose an element of himself that the audience hasn't really quite seen before.
Padme comes to Vader as visions. She sort of presents the goodness and the humanity that is left in him.
I just think about the story, I think about, Vader's emotions, and I think about also the perspective of how other characters are perceiving him.
I use a lot of low angle shots to make him sort of larger.
When Chicso confronts Vader, she is filled with bloodlust and this vengeance and rage because he brings up these memories of this trauma that she's experienced.
And how do I use the camera movements or framings to really capture all the emotions?
He speaks in a very recognizable manner, and not just his delivery, just the way his lines are written.
You can tell when something sounds like Vader and when it doesn't sound right.
What I try to do with his voice is channel the anger, the new direction that he's trying to go with his life.
Without the costume, there would be no film, because his name is literally in the title.
I think it's very important to get the character right. The armor and every single piece really encompasses the character.
We had all these discussions about how are we going to do it, and I was like, that really concerns me.
And it's kind of just trying to be as nitpicky and as detailed as you can be.
The moment we got the helmet on,
it was 7 people crammed into my small dorm on campus.
We were all whoa, what is that?
Looking in the mirror through the goggles,
We got a whole Darth Vader suit just standing right there.
But I never seen a Vader costume so close to me in person.
And it was also quite intimidating as a presence.
It was magical.
Crazy that we're about to put out a fan film adapting such an iconic character.
I'm excited for audiences to see a standalone narrative.
Obscure lore from the expanded universe is going to be put on screen for the very first time in this film.
Something is coming, something big is coming, something scary is coming.
You're going to see Vader in a way that you have never really seen him before. And I think that's what's going to really excite people about this film, and it's just awesome to see.